October 17th, 2023 meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is public hearing, which we had Lee County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. in the General District Courtroom of the Lee County Courthouse located in Jonesboro, Virginia. The purpose of the public hearing is to take public comment on a proposed road name change. Robert and Addie Allen are requesting that Mississippi Cove Drive be changed to one of the following names: Wood Thrust Drive, Blue Bunny Drive, or Iron Bridge Drive. Is there anyone here to speak on that?
Mr. Chairman, the request is made. It's basically, they have bought this property. They're the only property owners served by this drive. It's private drive. They prefer not to live on Misfit Drive, so, and I can understand.
Yeah.
Their preference, their first preference was Iron Bridge Drive, but that is not recommended by the 911 department due to sound alike names. And so their number 2 choice was Wood Thrust Drive.
I'll entertain a motion to change the name from Misfit Drive to Wood Thrust Drive.
So moved.
A motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is proposed amendment to the fiscal year 2023-24 budget. Lee County Supervisors will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. in General District Courtroom of the Lee County Courthouse located in Jonesboro, Virginia. The purpose of this public hearing is to solicit public comment on the proposed amendment to the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Lee County School Board has carryover funds from the prior fiscal year in the amount of $3,106,056.38 and is requesting reappropriation of this amount to be to the current fiscal year budget. The $3,106,056.38 represents unspent state direct aid to the public education funds received in fiscal year 2023-2024 and is eligible for reappropriation to the current fiscal year.
Mr. Chairman, this just funds that were unspent, state funds that were unspent at the end of the last fiscal year. For the past 3 or 4 years, the state has allowed these funds to be carried over. It's a little bit new there. In the past, there have been certain pots of funds that could be carried over, but Virginia's always been a state that's basically had to abide by the spend it or lose it rule. And unfortunately, it isn't always the best scenario for local government. But anyway, they do allow these funds to be reappropriated to the current fiscal year, and the school board has made that request. The superintendent is here if you have any questions on that.
Anyone have any questions? I don't either.
There is a resolution enclosed in your packet behind their request letter, which will provide that supplemental appropriation to their budget. Resolution 23-013.
23-013.
Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion. Second. On the 23-013.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, the special use permit request. The Lee County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 17, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. in the General District Courtroom of the Lee County Courthouse located in Jonesboro, Virginia to solicit input on special use permit request. Zachary Shelton has applied for a special use permit to allow a double-wide manufactured home in the VC Village Commercial District. The property consists of approximately 0.21 acres of land. It's located at 6,000 Dr. Thomas Walker Road, Old Highway US 58 in Rose Hill. Tax parcel 47A-6-BK13, lots 1 and 2. Is there anyone here wish to speak on that?
Speak. Okay, Mr. Shelton's here, but basically, there are photographs showing the lot and a picture of the old house that was on site. His proposal was to demolish the old house, wasn't fit to live in, and replace that with double-wide manufactured home. It is a small lot size. He has already appeared before the Board of Zoning Appeals to request a variance, which has been granted contingent on approval of the special use permit. We actually saw it as an improvement to the property due to the state of the condition of the old house. There've been no objections voiced, and the planning commission voted to recommend approval.
Mr. Chairman, is that where that's being burned, there in the middle of Rose Hill?
We burned the tree that had actually fallen on the house, and I had a miscommunication with the contractor. He was burning a shed that was out behind it. I hadn't put that out because he miscommunicated with us, so the house wasn't burned, the tree that had fallen on the house.
Right, I would say.
Yeah. That's the one that was being destroyed.
Yeah, I would say.
I make a motion to approve that
I have a motion to approve.
special use permit.
Do I hear a second?
There's a,
A motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, the Lee County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. in the General District Courtroom of Lee County Courthouse located in Jonesboro, Virginia, to solicit input on special use permit request. Thomas and Patrick Pridemore have applied for a special use permit to allow an automobile salvage yard or automobile graveyard in the A1 agricultural district. The property consists of approximately 1.40 acres of land and is located adjacent to 626 Sand Cave Road, State Route 724 in the Ewing community. Tax parcel 63A-1-BKB, lots 23 through 28. Anyone want to speak on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the zoning text amendment request. Lee County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. in the General District Courtroom of the Lee County Courthouse located in Jonesboro, Virginia, to solicit input on the zoning text amendment request. Michael Lane has applied for zoning text amendment to allow self-storage and many warehouse facilities as an allowed use in the BC Village Commercial District. Anyone here wish to speak on that?
I'm the property owner there, I'm the one making requests.
Okay. Mr. Pope, you got any comments on that?
If approved as the request is stated, it will allow mini storage units in any VC zone by right, would not require any special use, would just allow it by right. So it was heard by the Planning Commission last month, and they made a motion to recommend approval to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is departmental reports. Building inspector. extension office. The work program, litter and recycling. Anybody have any comments on those? If not, we'll move on to public expression. Does anyone here wish to address the board in public expression? State your name and you'll have 3 minutes.
Jerry Cox. And I'm here to mention
Microphone
it's always a little low today.
Microphone one.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to speak a little bit about the budget and anything the board can do to help. If there's any surplus money or any money we can allocate towards seeing that the water projects are jump-started and lead us some more water projects. And in Stickleyville, the Lovelady Gap, I got in touch with Mr. Lane, Mr. Bronski, and we Googled it, and there's 35 addresses up there, and they're getting a road paved. And that was originally part of the Stickleyville project, phase 2 in 2011. And we got like $4.5 million there, and Stickleyville had to divide their money with Big Stone to repair the Big Cherry Reservoir. And all I'd like to ask, those people have waited for several years, and I'm going to check with the PSA about submitting an application. And the tank, they're going to need a tank, and that's what's going to make it cost a little more. And if there's any way that we can set aside some money, if that comes to fruition next year, I know there'll be new members, if we can see that those people get water. And there's a good chance there that there's a lot of opportunity there to grow. There's land there there's a lot of lots there too, where they've done logging, and it's not very far from the 4-lane highway down there in Duffield. So it's a good location. 35 families. They've waited about 20 years for water. And any kind of matching funds that might help on that, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public expression?
Yeah.
Michael Watson, Jonesville. I have a question for the board and or the attorney. If a county employee were elected as a supervisor of the county, would that be a conflict of interest for that employee to vote or speak on budget or personnel issues?
Mr. Poe, you got an answer for that? I think I do, but I'm not sure to be the correct one.
We had a similar situation several years ago where we had a county employee who was on board of supervisors. That was from 2004, no, 2008 until 2012.
So you're saying it would not be a conflict of interest? You'll go on record and say that?
You know, to get an official opinion, you have to submit to the Attorney General's office. I'm not sure. Sometimes you don't get good responses when you submit a request. So they would probably kick it back to the locality. But if it's, and Stacy, correct me if I misspeak, if it is a matter in general affecting all employees or all departments, just like in a budget, it's typically not deemed a conflict. It would be a conflict for them to vote on something directly related to just them.
Or to that department, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because that's how I look at it too. If it's approving the budget as a whole, no, I don't think there would be a conflict. If there's an issue related specifically to the department, whether it, and not even just a budgetary issue, but any issue related specifically to the department in which they are an employee, my opinion is that that would be a conflict.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else for public expression? If done, we'll move on to approval of minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 19, 2023 is read.
I have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
And a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is refunds. There are 4 of them. It's Gregory J. Hill, Alvin C. Rowland, Thomas M. Holmes, and Roy Head.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve all 4.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, is payroll. County Administrator reports that payroll warrants have been issued. Item number 10 is approval of disbursements.
Motion to pay our bills.
I have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next is old business. Item number 1 is county code recodification.
The online link for that is ready. We need to upload it and install it to our homepage, so we'll get that done. We have received the link for that, so.
Is there a new webpage guy doing that, or do we have to do it?
Well, we can post it temporarily. The new website isn't ready yet. We looked at it yesterday. He came by just to see if he was on the right, felt like he was on the right track. And they have a lot of information to upload onto the new site once it's ready to go. They still got some tweaks to make on it. I thought about holding off on the link until we got the new site up, rather than trying to put it on now and then turn around and move it to the new. But we could go ahead and make a place for it on the front page and just link it to that.
I'd rather go ahead and do it.
Okay, we'll get that done in a few days.
Any more comments or questions? If not, next, item B is donated real estate.
The outstanding items, the county attorney and I had hoped to meet, and we tried to schedule a couple of times, and something was happening to either myself or her. But everything I think is ready except on one of the parcels. We just need to firm up and clear up who all the heirs are, get the full listing, and.
Because the acreage too didn't match.
Yeah, it's an acreage
what
issue
they
of matching, but I think I've found the 2 parcels that are involved in that. The others now is just a matter of getting the deeds out for signatures.
So are we doing that, getting the others out, or what?
Yeah, yes.
Any other comments or questions? Item C is Jasper Convenience Center.
I'd hope to have that entrance permit submitted to VDOT prior to this meeting, but it didn't happen. It will be in before the end of this week. It's laying on the desk next to come up in the stacks.
That should be a problem, I mean,
No, they've already looked at the site.
right.
They met with us several months ago, and so it's just be getting it into them, let them make a final review of everything and submit back.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Next, item D is scanner, printer, and circuit court.
I want to provide you something on that. When this came up last month, I understood that it was going to be a matter of probably some wiring or cable, but no, this is a sort of a slight renovation of the counter area. So I wanted to provide you with a drawing of what the clerk has requested. I marked, there's three doorways in there. The way I initially looked at it, I had to go to her to make sure I had my bearings, had this turned right, but I put where the main entry door is. Now you go in that main entry door and the counter sits right in front of you there. But under this new proposal, the counter would run along with where the door opens there. You would be at the front counter as soon as you walk in, where a clerk in there could help you. There'd be another employee behind the counter at a desk over in the back area. The new plat scanner and the printer would be located in a secured area back there where the public would not have access to unless they were allowed back there. It would still allow public access to the deed room. So, and it would also seal off a doorway there. It would not actually seal it off, but it would secure a doorway with an adjacent office. It would also provide an ADA and public accessible terminal there to look for deed records without having to go behind the counter. Now, someone from the public or attorneys go in to search. If they don't go into the deed room and search on that one, they'd have to go actually behind the counter there with the employees. This would be custom cabinetry, which is sometimes a little expensive, but we can try to get some quotes and prices on this. Or they are requesting one new desk. Man, that old desk, I went and looked at it today. That's an antique, if they're using really. But anyway, that's the planned proposal. If there's no objection from the board, I'll move forward with getting some price quotes to see if we can get a cost on what the overall project would be.
So what's the new hardware? I'm not seeing what they're talking about. Where's it located?
If you look, if you've got main entry at the bottom of the page, I wrote in the letters main entry. Do you see that?
See plat scanner, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the plat scanner and the plat printer is where that would be located.
Anyone else have any questions? If none, item E is
Well,
fire alarm
If I
repair.
can ask, is that consensus to move forward? with
Yes.
this one?
Everybody okay with that?
All right.
Next is fire alarm repairs.
I would request that be addressed in closed session. I do have a second quote.
Okay. All right. We'll go to new business. Board appointments. First one is building code appeals.
Motion to table.
Second.
Have a motion to table and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Next is Littleton Pine Office on Youth.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to appoint Janice Marie Hurd in place of Melissa Rogers.
Have a motion. Do I hear a second? Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I've got a name to replace Brooks Chadwell with. And it is Lindsay Nicodem.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is Christy Flannery. Is her term updated or?
That information was in there last month, and I don't remember if, I forget which one of them resigned and the other has never attended a meeting.
Okay. Anyone have someone in mind to replace Christie with? If not, I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Next is the Tourism Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I reappoint Sue Crockett.
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the Intrado proposal to transition E911 to DS Henley.
The 911 department is currently in the process of converting to what's called Next Gen 911 service capability. This is per direction from the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it's a statewide initiative. The transition will require our 911 solutions provider, Intrado, to transition our system to the Next Gen EasyNet, is what I call it, ESINet system. It's at an estimated cost for the transition is $20,332. This will be 100% reimbursed by the state, by the 911 board. The ESINet system will allow calls to be transferred. This is the biggest advantage to it. It will allow them to transfer seamlessly calls that need to go to Scott County or to Tennessee County's bordering lead. Right now, it's a complicated situation to get calls transferred. Once a 911 call is made and goes to the wrong dispatch center, it takes some work by the dispatcher to make that, to get that transferred over to the proper place. This will allow that to happen pretty much seamlessly and be a very quick transition, which saves time and in some instances lives. So there is a copy of the proposal that's enclosed. There's a brief one-pager on the whole Next Gen 911 process, and I would request approval of the proposal in order for them to schedule this.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next is Jet A tank installation invoice.
We have two invoices, actually. One, the first one, smaller amount, $5,970, is the balance on the tank itself. If you'll recall, the tank was ordered back in 2022 or maybe, well, it might have been January of 23. I guess about January of 23. There was some delay in getting it, but the vendor received the tank, but we were still working on trying to get an install contract for the tank. In, I think, about July, maybe July or August, he requested at least payment of a portion, 90% of it, so he could pay the manufacturer. That was approved, and that was about $92,000. The total contract was $98,000 something. So the $5,970 is the remaining balance, and that was the amount of the contract for unloading it and getting it set onto the pad. There's a second invoice in there, also from Gas Station Supply, for $167,424.97. This is just a little bit below the contracted amount, but this is the only invoice we've received. The system is installed and operating, so at this point in time, I've had the engineer review both invoices. He recommends payment of the invoices, and I would concur with that.
Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I just call it thing. We shouldn't have to pay sales tax, should we?
No, did they put that on there?
$4,000 worth. I think we're exempt.
That may have been tax that he had to pay, I don't know, on materials or something.
Make sure they're not. That number's not. Well, the number's right, he didn't put it on the labor, but still, I think we're exempt.
Well, again, this may be tax that he had to pay. We were not buying the materials direct. And if he was required to pay sales tax, he's probably adding that in. I'll confirm that with him. I'll go back to him and make sure that he's not adding tax
You see that paper you got?
to the total amount.
Well, but that doesn't make good sense for him to, if we're exempt, why would he pay the
He
tax?
shouldn't, but again,
Well,
sales tax laws can get a little bit sticky in places.
Well, it's worth digging into.
Yeah, I'll ask him about it and see. But if he's paid the tax, then he's gonna have to turn around and apply for a refund. What I would ask, that if, I guess for a motion on contingency, to at least pay, the amount
Less that.
less that, and if that is state sales tax code, that we pay the full amount.
Yeah, we just need to put some effort in making sure that we don't have to pay. I mean, I don't know why he would have bought it the way he did and pay that tax if you don't have to.
See, that if you run the sales tax on that at 5.1%, I can't remember if it's 5.1 or 5.2.
5.3.
Okay, but at 5.1, that's only on $80,000, so it's on some of the materials.
It's only, if you figure the 77,000 at 5.3%, that's where I got the number.
Yeah, okay, but I'll take that up with you and see.
So you want another motion on it, or?
Just if I could get a motion to pay it contingent on the 4,000 being determined to be paid, having to be paid.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next is the Sheriff's Department vehicle bids.
Okay. Pay attention. As I put in the memo, we only received one bid. Chevrolet does not have any manufacturer pricing that they can use to price anything with. The labor strike, current labor strike, as well as ongoing COVID issues with all that, no one has good production schedules. I will, before I get into this, I will say 2 of our vehicles that were purchased last year are at the dealership in Richmond, and the other 2 are in transit. So those 4 will be coming in, should be here within the next 30 days. So we'll be able to move forward with them. But these are 6 vehicles that have been bid out on a grant award that the Sheriff's Office received. We had one bid that was from Freedom Ford. We extended the deadline of the bid because the Chevrolet manufacturers were requesting more time. They thought they would have more information, and that was prior to the auto workers strike. That didn't materialize. They still didn't have anything, so we were left with one bid. When I started looking at the bid that we received, it's not a firm bid. We asked for 2024 vehicles. They stated them as 2024 Ford Police Explorers, but they also stated that the bid pricing and the government discount program as supplied was for the month of September, and then went on to say that the Ford system price and the discounts are not available for a true 2024. Then they began referencing 2023 units, and they gave a price of $46,447.13 each. They did provide a disclaimer note saying that 2024 pricing or GPC discounts are not available today and may influence this pricing. Price supplied is subject to change and will be based on the receipt date of a purchase order. Delivery date to be determined by the receipt of the purchase order. So we got a bid, but it's not, I don't know if you can depend on it. They're saying, the dealer's rep said that 2024s will probably have a 1 to 2% price increase on them. So I don't know, I mean, by their disclaimer itself, the price isn't perfect. Last Thursday, I think they advised that they had found 20, they first said 10, but I think they came up with 20 Ford units, police units, that they could potentially get a portion of them. The only issue was, we specified white to match what we've got. These are silver. I've discussed this with the sheriff's office. We've still not seen a spec sheet on these, although he said they met our specs, they met all of our specs. But we've asked to see a spec sheet on them. They will honor this price, the $46,447.13 on 6 vehicles out of these that are silver. He said there may be a couple of white ones, they're not really sure now. They're getting them from another location, another dealer. They would honor this price, and they should be able to deliver them probably within 30 days or less from the date we would give them a purchase order. I discussed it with the sheriff's office. They're not thrilled with the color, but they sort of feel like a bird in hand is better than waiting for the 2024s to come out and nobody knowing when they'll even be available or what the price will be. I mean, they're just now finishing up, these that we are getting in are 2023 models that are just now coming in. And so, not knowing what production schedules will be, this grant is good through June 30th of next year. If we did not get the vehicles in time to make payment, I don't know if they would extend the grant or not. I don't know what the circumstances would be there. And so they're sort of afraid to gamble and wait, and it might be 10, 12 months before we could actually get any additional cruisers. And we are starting to have some that are getting some problems. They're getting close to being ready to go out of service.
I thought when we voted to do this, we voted, it was kind of a contingency deal. If you could get the Explorers or whatever they're called now, get them. If not, get the Chargers.
We didn't get any bids for Chargers.
We did at the time we voted on it. I remember me and Mr. Mosley wanted to get.
Was you talking about the Ford that's in now, or these? We just put these out for bid a month and a half ago.
I didn't think we got the Ford. We got the Ford?
The Ford were ordered last November. They're just now coming in. We ordered them last November.
Okay, so this is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We put this out, and again, these are on the grant. These are a grant through the sheriff's office. And they requested SUV models. There's no local money involved in this.
So there's really not much of a choice, right? What's the question?
That's what well, again, we have to go through procurement, and it has to be approved by the board before the funds can be spent. Even though it's a grant to the sheriff's office, they don't have their own accounting system. Their funds have to go through the county.
So you just need a motion to approve.
And that would be contingent on us getting the spec sheets to confirm that these will meet the minimum specs of ours, of what we asked for.
Well, so we just need to make a motion on contingency that they meet the specs?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E, under new business, is an offer to donate property.
We take that up under closed session, some other stuff about real estate.
Ready to vote?
Fine with me.
Next is reports and recommendations of the county attorney.
I don't have any.
Reports and recommendations of the county administrator.
Yeah, I'm afraid I do. You see the date, this didn't come in until 11. And it's fairly simple. The Southwest Virginia Alcohol Safety Action Program notified us that Eric Walton was the county's appointee to that board, and his term has expired. They are requesting that Sarah Wynn be appointed to fill that vacancy. That's a term of not less than 1 year, not more than 3 years. And if you're in agreement, there is a resolution behind that request. They supplied the resolution, so we don't typically do our resolution, but that's fine if you want to make that appointment and state whether you want it to be a 1-year term or a 3-year term. Then that would be resolution 23-014.
So we need a motion on that?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to appoint Sarah Wynn for the 3-year term.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item, for the 4 police cruisers that will be shortly delivered, we'd like to go ahead and get all the lights, light bars, the inside cage, all of that on order. We've had problems getting that stuff in the past. We've got a quote on this for the wheel and siren and some other equipment. They recommended maybe looking at an alternate provider on that, which the Motorola did do that. These things have gone up tremendously. The light bars have doubled in price over the last probably 4 years. They used to be about $1,500. They're $2,900 a piece now.
And will any of the ones that we are taking out of service, they won't work?
They won't work. The cages won't work because we're moving. Some of them are coming out of passenger vehicles, sedans, and won't fit into these. But anyway, this is going to be multiplied by 4. We used to be able to outfit a vehicle, all the lighting, transfer all the radios over, the consoles, the cages, everything. Pre-COVID, about $7,000. Current price on this is $10,865.73 per vehicle. So I just need approval in order to get these ordered so that we'll get them in. So the cars won't be sitting once they get here without being utilized. And again, it's the costs of items have just gone up tremendously over the past few years.
So you just need a motion to approve to get them on order?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next thing, got about 3 parts to it. One of these, I want to just hand this out. Mr. Collinsworth has advised, Bluntville Landfill has provided their Christmas operating schedule. Christmas falls on Monday this year, or actually, and they are closing their landfill on 11 o'clock on Friday, the 22nd. Our offices will close at noon on that day, and we'll also be closed on Monday. With that schedule, Mr. Collinsworth has made a proposal, and that's what I do. I'm submitting this as a proposal tonight. You won't have to make a firm decision until next month to give us time to advertise or get it out there to the public. But he's proposing to put 2 additional dumpsters at Dryden, Woodway, Denher, Ewing, and at the front gate just prior to the holidays. On Thursday, the 21st, they would operate 3 garbage trucks and both boom trucks and dump every site in the county, all cans and every site. On Friday, the 22nd, operate 3 trucks and 2 boom trucks, dump everything, and ensure that the dumpsters at Dryden, Woodway, Denher, Rose Hill, Ewing, and the front gate would be dumped after lunch. In other words, as late in the day as possible, which leaves those sites fairly well clean for Saturday. On Saturday, the convenience centers would be open, but he is proposing to close the scale house, which no trucks run on Saturday. Close, of course, the transfer station would normally be closed the 24th, but he's proposing to close all convenience center sites on the 24th and the 25th. Of course, the transfer station would be closed on the 25th. If anything comes into the transfer station on the 25th, we would have nowhere to put it, because with the trash that they'll bring in on Friday, it'd probably fill all the contractors' trucks. We cannot have waste on the pad, even though it's enclosed. We're not allowed to have any waste on the pad overnight. And I understand the board's previous feelings about closing the convenience center sites, but if they are open all day Saturday with nothing being done, all day Sunday and all day Monday, and us not being able to haul any trash out, they won't be able to find the cans. They'll spend the day cleaning up in front of them.
If those things are closed, they won't be able to find a convenience center.
Well, it'll be a smaller area that you'll be dealing with, but I mean.
Not necessarily.
Well,
That's not
I'm
exactly
submitting
true.
this for the board's consideration, not asking for decisions in that.
Well, we need to go ahead and make our opinions be known right off the bat. I just can't see it. I mean, there's a lot of people have families in, and what are they supposed to do? Just they be overwhelmed with trash in 2 days. And you know where they're gonna put it. We all know where they're gonna put it. They're gonna get rid of it. They're not gonna leave it in their house. So I can give you my early opinion on that.
I concur, and I think the quicker we say no, if that's what we're gonna say, the quicker you can figure out how to make it happen.
Okay. Is there any of those days that you would be willing to see the convenience center sites? In other words, you want them open all that, or Saturday, Sunday, and Monday?
I do.
I thought we made a decision to leave it up to the operators at each convenience center whether or not they want to open on a holiday.
No, what was done about normal holidays is, I'll have to go back and see exactly if we had specific holidays, or if it's all holidays that leave the site open, but the operator doesn't have to come out and open and close. They just leave the gates open overnight. And of course, then on Tuesday, probably Tuesday and Wednesday, we would be running 3 trucks and both boom trucks doing cleanup the week after.
Is your scale house not usually open on Saturdays?
It's usually open on Saturday, but we would have, I mean, if they fill up, from what we bring in Thursday and Friday, if they fill all their trucks, the contractor fills his trucks, we've got nowhere to put waste. And if you allow it to come in on Saturday, it's going on the pad, and then we're in violation.
So you think he would fill them on the 22nd?
Well, by them dumping everything, I mean, I'm assuming that's his assumption, that they'll have everything filled up by the time they bring everything in on Thursday and Friday.
How many loads a day are they taking a month?
3 to
3 to 4 a day. Our tonnage is running, probably about 60 ton a day. He and I talked about that coming back from driving yesterday, and I forgot exactly what he told me, but tonnage has begun to creep back up the last 2 or 3 years. It was dropping for a while, but it's crept back up a little. And I think they've got a total of 4 trailers.
Yes.
They've got 4 trailers over there that they can load.
Has anybody asked Wayne if they can hold that for Friday, if they've got enough capacity? Has anybody asked Wayne if he can hold for Friday?
Well, again, he's got 4 trailers. And once they're full,
Well, I understand that, but I don't know how much volume that is on Fridays.
well, I'm not sure what normally gets dumped on Friday, but I'm sure the entire county isn't clean. And I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't see us getting much waste in on the Saturday, to the tipping floor, at the scale house, but that's the only place we'll have to put it. If there's an available trailer, they can come and push it in, but if everything is full, then we wouldn't have anywhere to put it.
I just have it open on the Saturday till you get full. When you get full, cut it off. And can I just give, what's the name with the green trucks?
Pardon?
The people with the green trucks, what's their name? The green dump?
Dumpster jump, or whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever they are. I mean, I just tell them this is what we're gonna do. When we run out of trailer space, we have to cut you off. Whoever your regulars are that come on Saturdays, and just.
I don't know who comes in on Saturdays, to be honest. I can relay the board's concerns back to Mr. Collingworth and ask him to look at this again and give an estimate of what he thinks will be there. How many of the trailers will be loaded by the end of the day on Friday.
Are we allowed to have, dump cans outside the gated area?
You mean at the convenience center sites? Well, I prefer not to, because they are fenced, can keep some animals out, not all, but if you put them outside, we certainly wouldn't be able to put them outside at any sites where we had fire activity, because they'd trash it up.
I know in Woodway, the fence has been down for a long time.
I've got a proposal to talk to you tonight about repairing that, making repairs on it, basically putting a new fence up.
But, if you close it, it's gonna be piled up. Like Dee Dee said, it's gonna be piled up all over the outside, so it's almost literally, there's a can or 2 cans there.
Well, my thought on that, David, is when they cans get filled up, they're just gonna throw it on the ground anyway.
Yeah, but I'd rather have 2 cans full than to have.
Well, you're tempting them to throw it on the ground though, when they see those cans sitting outside.
Did we ask Wise last year if they would take our trash for a day or 2?
And then never did get a response.
I wonder if they would.
Well,
2 days.
actually, I think they closed their landfill during that period last year, similar to us. Just like any other landfill, I think they was closed. I may be wrong, but I didn't get a response, and I'm trying to remember if I talked to Mike about that after the fact. But I think they'll probably have theirs down similar to the schedule of their office. I don't know how much extra they'll work. I can inquire about it.
Even if it's just the Friday.
You're gonna accumulate more trash on Sunday night and Monday. And so if they have to hold it till Tuesday, I don't think that's gonna work.
We'll start accumulating some on Saturday night. Some families have to go multiple places and schedule things all weekend. So,
But, you know,
How many extra cans do we have?
I don't know how many total, how many you'd have extra. He's talking about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 extras, putting them out there now. I have to check and see. I'll ask on all of this.
Yeah, I think
And as I get information, I'll try to provide it back to you.
I think that's a good idea too, on a case like that, you know, just to add, you know, if you have to, bunch of cans in there as close as you can, bunch them up. Get as many cans as you can
As
out.
you can. It's gonna be close.
We don't have enough people picking up trash now. I mean, our work people can't keep it picked up now, let alone closing our sites and adding to it.
we can make a decision on this next month. That's,
Yes, and as I get information on this, I'll provide it to you. I've still got more on this. The site, excuse me, at 606, or on 606, Surf Pocket, we had held off on this, not sure if we would have to do it or not. Our entrance permit to VDOT did require the entrance area to be paved. You're supposed to pave a width wide enough, or far enough off of the pavement that the trucks can pull up and vehicles coming out of the site can be on pavement when they come out to pull out onto the highway. We're starting to get some potholing action there, and he would like to pave an area. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but he said it would be the same amount of pavement that they used up at the Cane Creek site when they did repairs up there a few weeks ago. And smoothed that entrance out. It would always pothole out very bad, so they smoothed that one up. Looking at a cost for the asphalt and renting a roller, probably about $5,500 to do all of that, but that needs to be done just to comply with the
and I agree. I talked to Gary about it. He said it's getting really bad.
And it eliminates having to haul gravel and go up there and work the sidewalk too.
Yeah,
So
and that one there, Cane Creek's nice.
if
Does a
there's,
good job replacing the gates, putting the asphalt down.
if there's no objection, let's move forward with that, get that on our schedule. Also, the Woodway site, as you said, the fence is in really bad shape. Some of the posts, I think, have broke off, some are bent over, where additional rock and stuff's been added and pushed out more, it's created some issues. We can get the fencing material that's needed for about $3,250. This won't be purchased locally, it'll be ordered from a manufacturer. He's lined this up. This is a large enough order. We have to make a fairly large order to get started with them, to get the account set up. This will be sufficient to do that. This will provide all the material that would be needed to replace that fence. He is proposing to reduce the size of the fenced area. Right now, there's a large grassy area that goes on over to the intersection that goes back out to the cemetery. That we really don't, we can still keep it mowed, but it doesn't have to be behind the fence, so that would save some on fencing material. It's never been used for waste. It goes into a corner, basically, a pointed corner. And he's proposing to just basically enclose the area that we actually use. So there would be a little less fence work required. Some of the material some of the material that is there now may be able to be reused either there, or we may be able to reuse it somewhere else. So we will, this is enough material, this 3250, that'll get us established with this company where we can get cheaper prices in the future by ordering direct. But it will be enough to replace everything, and then we can use the other locations if needed.
You need a motion on that?
Yeah, on that one, I'd sort of like that motion.
I'll make that motion. Say your second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
And this one isn't solid waste, but it has to do with that crew, Public Works Department. And Mr. Mulder, I talked to you about this. Are we ready to move forward on doing the basketball court at St. Charles? I know you were trying to contact Ballard, you haven't been able to make that contact. We're talking about $7,100, and we just want to go ahead and move forward and try to firm that up with Ballard and deal with it, or what do you
I
want to
think
do?
they'll reimburse us, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, if I can get a hold.
Well, we'll stay on them until we get our money back. I mean, because we know that it was promised.
What's it, Marvin Icon? Is that?
Yeah.
I've got his number there at the house.
And I just get a motion to move forward, that way they'll try to get this done before we.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Then I have requests for closed session personnel and investing the public funds.
Go ahead and do the reports, recommendations, vote. Mr. Smith,
I don't have any,
Mr. Cobb,
nothing for open session.
Mr. Jesse,
No, sir.
Mr. Leonard.
I just have one update. The polls are up for the AT&T MBOs. I just don't know, I can't give an update on when they plan on bringing the equipment to put on. I missed that call.
I'm trying to coordinate all that, they want to make sure that power is there. We've already submitted the request for power at the two sites that we couldn't pull. We're pulling power from the polling house at Roberts Chapel, but they're having to run power. We've submitted orders on both of those. Scott County Telephone has been coordinating with Overland Power on that. The equipment is ready, AT&T equipment is ready. I'm trying to remember what they said. We've got another call scheduled the first part of November. Once the polls were set, they had to go through the environmental. So they can't set the equipment until they get the environmental. But the goal at this time is to get at least 2 of the sites operational before the end of the year. Our hope is to get all 3 of them operational. The internet, the fiber service to the one at St. Charles, they still got to get that run. They still have to do that. They've got crews doing other things, but they've still got to get that one run. That's the only one that can hold it up. If that one does get held up, AT&T has at least said there's potential that the pricing could go up on that one unit, because all of this is predicated on being installed before the end of the calendar year. We might be able to talk to them and hold that price, but we'll see. But the goal is still going to be to push to get them all operational by the end of the year.
Well, you know, we can always tell them keep it, but, you know, if they won't play that game.
We've already placed the order.
We agreed upon a price, too. There was nothing contingent upon that price.
Anything else, Mr. Leonard?
No, that's it, I'm sorry.
See if you can get Mr. Hensley to bring his crew up 58.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's the worst road in Lee County. And I know where it's coming from. I've talked to you about it, and I've followed the trucks that are losing it. And, you know, when that next contract, you need to make sure that it's tarps and not nets.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen
solid,
that. I've
solid
seen that.
coverage,
Coming out of the-
solid coverage.
Yeah, be
instead of
solid, they
mesh.
need to be solid, because they're losing a lot. Yeah, it made me sick following up the road.
And they're like it everywhere. I mean, it's just not the ones that contract for us, but I watched them over and I've been behind them over going into Bristol. And it's the same way, blowing it out right of them.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Plastic balls and stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, we're picking it up, haul it over there, and then put it back, haul it back again, you know.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's all I have.
Mr. Chairman, I do have one thing I forgot. Would y'all have any issue with putting Dr. Van Zee on the opioid committee? Mr. Mosley, no. He had requested to be on there sometime ago. Dr. Van Zee. I make a motion that we appoint Dr. Van Zee to the opioid committee.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. I'm gonna talk about that other closed session.
I make a motion, we go into closed session pursuant to 2.2-3711, sub A1 personnel, 3 acquisition or disposition of real property, 6 investment of public funds, 7 threat of pending litigation, 29 contracts.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?